morphology of flowering plants, right? Morphology of flowering plants. In morphology of flowering plants, we completed root. Now we are going for stem. Right? Now listen to the statements. Sir, stem is the main axis of shoot system. Stem is the main axis of which system, sir? Shoot system. Who is the main axis of shoot system, sir? Stem. Sir, this stem is developed from plumule. Plumule means which end of embryonal axis? Upper end of embryonal axis, right? Therefore, stem developed from where? Plumule. Plumule means what? It is a upper end of embryonal axis, right? Which end it is? Upper end. Upper end of what, sir? Upper end of embryonal axis. It is an upper end of embryonal axis. Is it okay? Right. Sir, what is the main function of this stem? This stem spreads branches. The branches bears leaves, flowers and fruits. Okay. Therefore, stem. What it does? Stem spreads out what? Spreads out branches. Stem spreads out branches. What is branches bears? Which bears what? Which bears flowers. What more? Fruits and leaves. Is this statement okay? Right? Now listen to this statement. Sir, this is a stem, right? This is a stem. Whereas this is root. Right? This is a node, sir. From this node, what is developed? Leaf is developed. Right? Now the food materials which are synthesized in the leaf by photosynthesis process. Food materials which are synthesized inside the leaf by photosynthesis process. If they want to move to the root, they have to move through what's a stem. It means the food present in the leaf goes to the root through what's a stem. It means a stem helps in conduction of food materials from the leaf to root. Yes or no? Right? Similarly, sir, this root it absorbs water and minerals from the soil. Who is absorbing water and minerals from the soil? Root. Is it okay? Root absorbs water and minerals from the soil. Sir, this water and minerals absorbed by the root goes to the leaf through what's a stem. It means stem even helps in conduction of what's a? Even helps in conduction of water and minerals. Helps in conduction of water and minerals. Is this statement okay? Right? Therefore, stem also helps in what's a conduction. Stem also helps in conduction. Conduction of what? Conduction of water. What more? Minerals and food materials. Sir, how these food materials are synthesized? These food materials are synthesized by photosynthesis process, right? Synthesized by which process, sir? Photosynthesis process. Synthesized by which process? Photosynthesis process. Is this statement okay? Right? Therefore, sir, stem, what it is doing? It spread out the branches. Right? It spreads out the branches. What the branches bears? Which bears flowers, fruits and leaves. Sir, what more the stem can do? It can help in conduction of water, minerals and food materials. helps in conduction of water, minerals and food materials. Sir, stem helps in conduction of water and minerals. Stem helps in conduction of water and minerals. From where, sir? From root. From where? From root to other parts of the plant. Is it okay? Whereas it helps in conduction of food materials. Helps in conduction of food materials from where, sir? Generally, which part synthesizes food materials? Leaf. Therefore, from leaf to other parts. From leaf to what, sir? Other parts. Do you saw stem when it is in young condition? Young stem is green in color, but later this stem becomes dark brown and woody. Becomes what? Dark brown and woody. So how the young stem is? Young stem. Young stem is green, but later afterwards. But later stem becomes. But later stem becomes how's woody, right? And dark brown. What it becomes? Dark brown. Is it okay? Sir, what is the meaning of woody, sir? If secondary growth takes place. Secondary growth takes place. Right? If secondary growth takes place, then the structure becomes woody. The structure becomes what, sir? Woody. It means when stem undergoes secondary growth, the stem becomes what? The stem becomes woody. The stem becomes what, sir? Woody. Is this statement okay? Right. Therefore, young stem, how the young stem is? It is green, right? But later the stem becomes woody and what's dark brown. Becomes woody and dark brown, right? Sir, we are discussing stem, right? Stem is differentiated into nodes and internodes. Stem is differentiated into what? Nodes and internodes. Stem differentiated into what's nodes and internodes. Stem is differentiated into nodes and internodes. Is it okay? Right. Sir, on stem you can see branches. Yes or no? On stem we can see what's branches. Right. These branches of what? Stem are exogenous in origin. What are exogenous in origin? Stem branches are exogenous in origin. Stem branches are what in origin? Exogenous in origin. Similarly, right, leaves, they are also exogenous in origin. Therefore, stem branches and what's leaves are what in origin? Exogenous in origin. Exogenous in origin. What is the meaning of exo? Outside. What is the meaning of genus? Origin. It means they are produced from outer tissues or inner tissues, outer tissues. Who are produced from outer tissues? Stem branches and leaves are produced from outer tissues. So we are calling stem branches and leaves as what in origin? Exogenous in origin. Is this statement okay? Now you tell me, we already discussed root, right? Root branches are endogenous in origin because root branches are developed from pericycle. Pericycle is a part of steel. We already discussed this statement. Yes or no? Therefore, root branches are endogenous in origin, whereas stem branches and leaves are what in origin, sir? Exogenous in origin. Stem branches and leaves. Culma. What is the meaning of culma? Culma means jointed stem. What is the meaning of culma? Jointed stem. Jointed stem with solid nodes and hollow or hollow internodes. So take a bamboo. But it is a bamboo. If you see bamboo stem, if you see the bamboo stem, how the bamboo stem will be? It will be like jointed stem. Stem appears as if it is a jointed, linked, connected. Yes, sir. Therefore, in case of bamboo, how the stem is a jointed stem, and how the nodes are solid nodes are present, and internodes are hollow or hollow. Therefore, jointed stem with solid nodes and hollow internodes. Such a stem is called as a culm or culm. Example is what, sir? Bamboo. What is the example? Bamboo. Sir, bamboo, right, it comes under grass family. Bamboo comes under which family, sir? Grass family. Grass family means like poaceae. Grass family means what, sir? Poaceae. We can call it even as, we can call this poaceae family even as a Gramineaceae family or Graminea family. Is it okay? Right? Therefore, bamboo comes under grass family. Grass family means poaceae or Gramineaceae or Graminea family. Is it okay? Right. Now, go for next word, that is a codex. Codex. What it is? Codex. Sir, unbranched stem is called as codex. What it is? Unbranched stem. Unbranched stem is called as what, sir? Codex. Sir, codex is also called as a columnar stem. Also called as which stem, sir? Columnar stem. Codex, also called as columnar stem. Is it okay? Sir, best example for codex is palm. P-A-L-M, palm. Even we can take a Cocos nucifera. You have to remember the scientific names. Sir, this Cocos nucifera is the scientific name of coconut plant. Which plant is a coconut plant? Therefore, palm and coconut, these two are examples for which habit is a codex habit. What is the meaning of codex habit? Unbranched stem. Is it okay? Right. Now, do you saw this coconut plant? Coconut plant. If you see coconut plant, is there any branch on the main stem? No branch. Therefore, the main stem is unbranched. Who is unbranched, sir? Main stem is unbranched. Therefore, unbranched main stem. Unbranched main stem. Is it okay? Right. This unbranched main stem bears a cluster of leaves at its tip. What it bears? Cluster of leaves at its tip. Therefore, each one is a leaf here. Should be very careful. See this diagram. In this diagram, this is not leaf. These are not leaves. Then where is the leaf, sir? This complete structure is one leaf. Is it okay? Right. Therefore, the main stem is unbranched. And it bears a cluster of leaves. See, this is one leaf. This is one leaf. This is one leaf. Therefore, cluster of leaves at its tip. Is this statement okay? Right. This is in the case of which plant, sir? Cocos nucifera. Right. Therefore, in coconut, what? Coconut, the unbranched main stem. The unbranched what? Main stem. Unbranched main stem bears What it bears? Bears a cluster of what? Cluster of leaves at its tip. Bears a cluster of leaves at its tip. Is this statement okay? Right? This is concerned to which habit, sir? Codex habit. Right? Now go for the next one. Go for the next one. What is pseudo stem? Name itself indicates. What is the meaning of pseudo? Pseudo means false. What is the meaning of pseudo? Pseudo means false. Therefore, pseudo stem means false stem. What is the meaning of pseudo stem, sir? False stem. Is it okay? Now you take banana. There is a musa. Musa, right? Musa, nothing but banana. Is it banyan tree or banana? It is not banyan tree. Banyan, ficus or ficus. We discussed it in crop roots, right? Whereas musa means what's a banana. In case of banana, the main stem is not aerial. The main stem is underground. What is the meaning of underground? Present below the soil surface. Present below the soil surface. What is underground? Main stem is underground. In case of which plant? Banana, right? Therefore, in musa, that is in banana, the main stem is the main stem is underground. In musa, that is in banana, the main stem is underground. Where is the main stem? The main stem is underground. Then the aerial stem, what we are seeing, it is formed by the overlapping of leaf bases. Therefore, in musa, that is in banana, the main stem is underground. And the aerial, what's that? The aerial stem-like structure. What it is, sir? Aerial stem-like structure that appears on the soil surface. Is formed. How it is formed? Is formed by overlapping. Of leaf bases. Formed by what, sir? Overlapping of leaf bases. Sir, what is the meaning of leaf bases, sir? Name itself indicates base of the leaf. Base of the leaf is called leaf base. Many leaves are there, therefore many leaf bases. All the leaf bases, they are overlapped. Due to overlapping of this leaf bases, what is formed? A stem-like structure is formed. Where you are seeing that stem-like structure? On the soil surface. Is it okay? This stem-like structure which is seen on the soil surface is called as a pseudostem. What it is called as? Pseudostem. Is it okay? Therefore, pseudo means false. Therefore, pseudostem means false stem. In banana, that is in musa, the main stem is underground. Right? And the aerial stem-like structure, what we are seeing on the soil surface, it is nothing but the pseudo stem which is formed by overlapping of leaf bases. Is it okay? Clear? Right. Now listen this statement. Generally the stem is aerial. Right? Generally, the stem is aerial, right? Now go for stem modifications. What's a stem modifications? Stem modifications. Now, what is the meaning of stem modifications? Sir, modification, permanent change, right? Therefore, permanent change. Permanent change, where permanent change in morphology and physiology. Permanent change in morphology and physiology of what? Stem. To perform new functions. To perform new functions is called stem modifications. What it is called as? Stem modifications. Therefore, stem modification. Sir, modifications are which changes? They are permanent changes. This permanent change is coming in what? Morphology and physiology. Morphology, external appearance. Physiology, functioning of what, sir? Stem. Sir, why morphology and physiology of stem has permanently changed to perform a new function? It means for performing new functions, morphology and physiology of the stem has permanently changed. This is called as what, sir? Stem modifications. Based on the nature of stem. Based on what? Nature of stem. Stem modifications are of three types. Based on nature of what, sir? Stem. Based on nature of stem modifications are of three types. What, sir? Stem modifications are of three types. What are of three types? Stem modifications are of three types. Based on what, sir? Based on nature of stem. Stem modifications are of three types. What are the three types of stem modifications, sir? First one is underground stem modifications. What is the first one? Underground stem modifications. Underground stem modifications. Second one is aerial stem modifications. What is the second one, sir? Aerial stem modifications. Aerial stem modifications. Right? Number 3. Go for the third one. What it is, sir? Third one is subaerial stem modifications. What it is? Subaerial stem modifications. Subaerial stem modifications. Is it okay? Right? Therefore, based on nature of stem modifications are of three types. What are they? Underground stem modifications, aerial stem modifications. Next one is subaerial stem modifications. What are the first one? Underground stem modifications. Go for the first one, underground stem modifications. Right? What are the first one? Underground stem modifications, right? Underground stem modifications. Now, first, what is the meaning of underground stem? The stem which is present below the soil surface. Stem which is present below the soil surface. Such stems are called as underground stems. Is it okay? Right? Therefore, stem present where stem present below the soil surface. Stem present below the soil surface. What is that stem called as a underground stem? Underground stem. Sir, this underground stem is also called as a subterranean stem. What is another name for underground stem, sir? Subterranean stem. Is it okay? Right? Now, sir, we are discussing what? Underground stem modifications, right? Now, listen here. Sir, these underground stem modifications are also called as multi-purpose stem modifications. What is another name for underground stem modifications? Multi-purpose stem modifications. Underground stem modifications. Underground stem modifications also called as underground stem modifications are also called as what? Multi-purpose. What it is called as? Multi-purpose stem modifications. See this word. Sir, name itself indicates multi-purpose stem modifications. Multi means many. Therefore, this underground stem modification, it is used for many purposes. So, this underground stem modification is also called as multi-purpose stem modification. Okay. Therefore, underground stem modifications are also called as multi-purpose stem modifications because why? Because the underground stem, what? Underground stem performs more than one function. Underground stems performs what, sir? Performs more than one function. Performs more than one function. As they are performing more than one function, they are called as multi-purpose stem modifications. Is it okay? Right? Sir, how these underground stem modifications, okay, performing more than one function, or what are the functions that are performed by underground stem modifications? Sir, underground stem modifications. What they are? Underground stem modifications. Underground stem modifications used to store food materials. Used to store food materials. Sir, who is used to store food materials? Underground stems. So, can we call underground stem as a storage organ? Yes, because it stores food materials. Therefore, underground stems, they are what, sir? They acts as a storage organs. Acts as what, sir? Storage organs. Number 2. Sir, underground stems means they are present below the surface of the soil. Yes or no? Present below the surface of the soil. Therefore, protected. Protected from what? Herbivorous animals. Protected from where, sir? Herbivorous animals. Herbivorous animals, nothing but grazing animals. So, can we call these underground stems as protective organs? Yes. Which organs? Protective organs. Therefore underground stems acts as protective organs. Why? Because stem is underground, so it is protected from what, sir? Herbivorous animals. Okay, next, number 3. Sir, these underground stem modifications are used for permeation. Used for what? Permeation. Sir, what is the meaning of permeation? Without any damage, if any structure remains fresh for long period of time, then it is called as what, sir? Permeation. What it is called as? Permeation. Therefore underground stem modifications, underground stems, they are used for permeation. It means underground stems acts as a permeative organs or permeating organs. Therefore acts as which organs, sir? Permeating organs. Is it okay? Right? We'll go for the last one. Sir, these underground stem modifications, they are used for vegetative propagation. What is another name for vegetative propagation? Vegetative reproduction. Therefore used for what, sir? Used for vegetative reproduction. Used for what? Vegetative reproduction. It means here underground stem modifications even acts as what, sir? Reproductive organs. Yes or no? Because they are used for vegetative reproduction. Therefore reproductive organs. For which reproduction they are useful? For vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. We already told that underground stem modifications are also called as multi-purpose stem modifications because they are performing more than one function. Yes or no? What are that functions, sir? Number 1, use it to store food materials. So underground stem acts as storage organ. Protected from herbivorous animals, as it is underground, so acts as protective organ. Used for permeation, so act as permeating organs. Used for vegetative reproduction, so acts as a reproductive organ. Acts as a reproductive organ. Is it okay? Now listen this statement. Underground stem modifications are of 4 types. What? Underground stem modifications. Underground stem modifications are of how many types? Underground stem modifications are of 4 types. Sir, what are the 4 types of underground stem modifications, sir? First one is a rhizome. What is the first one? Rhizome. Second one is corm. What is the second one? Corm. Third one is a stem tuber. What is the third one, sir? Stem tuber. And fourth one is a bulb. What is the fourth one? Bulb. Therefore underground stem modifications are of how many types? They are of 4 types. What are they? Rhizome, corm, stem tuber, bulb. These are 4 types of underground stem modifications. Is it okay? Right? Tomorrow we will continue with rhizome. Is it okay? Right? Thank you.